Our water balloon from the previous section is still missing a couple of important details. For one, it doesn't disappear after colliding. That's an easy addition to the script. We will use the Hide Object code block found near the top of the Actions tab and add it to our collision event. Order isn't important as it all happens simultaneously. Since we want the water balloon to disappear and it already says self, we don't need to change anything either. And look at that, the balloon disappears after hitting the player. To make it reappear, we need to define how long it's hidden. Let's create a number variable called delay. That way, we can easily adjust its value later. For now, we will set it to a default of 5. At the bottom of our Events tab, drag over Send Event with Delay. And at the top of our Events tab, bring over When Event is Received. Let's rename this by clicking on the drop-down and click Custom Name at the top. We will call this Reappear. And now we will find the Reappear event in our Send My Events with Delay drop-down. With the event names matching, we can drag our delay variable and replace the 1 value. Now we can have a delay of 5 seconds before the reappear goes off. From Actions, we can drag over Show Object into the Reappear event. And now we can test it out. Look at that! The water balloon disappears and reappears 5 seconds later. In the water balloon properties panel, it now has a delay variable. From here you can change the delay, which sets it for this balloon specifically, and will stay the same even if you update the default delay on the Variables tab of your scripting gizmo. Our water balloon can be pushed a little further. From the Actions tab, drag Set Simulation into both events. Toggle it to false on collision with players and true when it reappears. Voila! You've created a really impressive script. Want to go one step further? This might be a little over the top, but on our Motions tab, under Instant Motion, bring Move By to the Reappear event and set its value to 0, 50, 0. This will move the water balloon up by 50 meters before reappearing and falling back down. What if we want the water balloon to splash on a wall or another object? We can do this by bringing over the When Colliding with Object event. To easily run code blocks from another event, grab Send Event to Object from the bottom of the Events tab. We are going to click on the drop-down and select Collision Enter. On our Values tab, bring the Server Player variable into the empty parameter slot. Now, when Collision enters with Object, we run all of the events in the When Colliding with Player event. Please note that to send an event to an object, the parameters must match the received event. In this case, we know that the Collision Enter event is received with a player variable, so we send a Server Player variable as a substitute, since there isn't actually a player collision event occurring. With our script done, we need to go to the More tab of our water balloon. Change it from Players to both Objects and Players. Then tap in the tag Wall. On our Wall object, on the Attributes tab, type in the tag Wall. Let's try throwing the water balloon at the wall. Awesome! Great work! If you duplicated these water balloons as they are, they would be a lot of fun, but they would quickly eat up your world's capacity. To optimize, we can reuse the sound and visual effects across a group of balloons. To get started, let's zoom into the grouping. Select both the visual and sound effects and bring them out, clicking Zoom Out. Now in our script, we will move these on collision with the player. To do this, on the Motions tab, under Instant Motion, bring Move To over to the Collision with Player event. On our Operators tab, about halfway down under Object Transformation is Position of Object. Replace the vector value with this code block. And then, from our Values tab, we can bring Self into the empty object slot. Duplicate the Move To code block, and from our Variables tab, we can define what is being moved by dragging the sound and visual effect variables onto the left side of each of the Move To events. Like that, our script is more efficient. Let's try it out and make sure it works. Awesome! Now, when we duplicate the water balloon, it will stay referenced to the sound and visual effects. I recommend that we duplicate a set of 5 to 10 balloons. and then we duplicate another set but with the sound and visual effects. We can paint these different colors, and now each team has a set of water balloons and their own effects to improve the visual look and feel. Now we are ready for a water balloon fight. Well done, and thank you for coming with me on this journey. We have lots of great tutorials in and out of Horizon. Be sure to experiment in this world playing with these powerful skills you've just learned. You can join us in the scripting tutorial next, where we are going to dive deeper into the inner workings of the scripting gizmo and build a mini game. We'll see you in Horizon.